Narcotics. You've probably, highly likely in your life, seen a movie, documentary about producing narcotics and the sale/uses of narcotics. Today, I'm going to open up and be very honest in this video. And some of y'all might judge me, some of y'all might agree with me, some of y'all might completely disagree with me because you have a different point of view on this specific thing within society that a lot of people consume for multiple reasons, different reasons for usage of cancer, stress, depression. They can't sleep. I'm one of those consumers. I don't consume it often. I've said it in videos before, and I've even made 2 videos on consuming it itself. And I also explain what type of narcotics I would never ever try in my life. So enjoy this video today. Cannabis. Oh wow, interesting, isn't it? Cannabis. It is one of the most used thing when it comes to legal soft drugs in the world, and in a lot of countries, I say unfortunately, but rules on countries, a lot of countries don't condone the usage of drugs. Now, this is a very interesting fact. A couple of months ago, last year, Portugal was the first country ever in the world to legalize heroin, crack cocaine. And I know what you might be wondering, that is ridiculous. Yes, I would assume it as well, but it's actually helped reducing the amount of deaths on the streets, and it has also reduced the amount of illegal transportation and production of the drugs themselves. The Portuguese government thought it would be a day to maybe do and look at its usage. Now, I personally wouldn't feel comfortable with seeing people doing it on the streets, but I'm pretty sure they've got things for that you're not allowed to do in the streets. Well, one would hope, obviously. Now, I'm 19 years of age, right? And yes, I have smoked a joint in my life. I have also smoked a blunt in my life. I had a blunt for the very, very first time last year, and I liked it a lot. I did. Now, myself, the only thing I've ever done, I was 14 and a half, just on the new school ride. And I had space cake for the very first time. Fucking disgusting. I don't know how people like that. Yeah, I don't really know the effects of that anymore because it's been years, so I can't really tell you of my experiences. But of cannabis itself, I am not somebody who is against the uses of cannabis. I really don't. I always say do it on your own. Just make sure you keep it on the low and just don't get addicted to it, obviously. I do it once in a couple of months. And why I say once in a couple of months, because once in a while I'm like, alright, fuck it. You know what? I could really go for a joint right now, really good. For you wondering, yes, my parents do know about it. Do they like it? Obviously they don't, considering that my family comes from a smoking family, and stuff happened in the past with family members. They passed away due to cancer and development of smoking. They don't obviously like it. My father was actually a smoker back in the days, and he stopped, luckily. He used to smoke as when he was in the military, because you were basically fucking forced, had no choice back in the days as a teenager, 16, to go in the army. You had no choice, unless I think you paid a ransom or something. I think it's like a thing nowadays, but I've only done cannabis, and I've always said, I would never fucking do cocaine, crack, heroin, none of those extreme type of hard drugs. Some would arguably say that alcohol is also a form of drugs, soft drugs. You probably could be right with that, with everything said. I've been drunk before in my life, twice. I don't like it. If I had to choose between being drunk or being high, I would gladly take cannabis all over alcohol or during the week. I don't like alcohol. Unfortunately, alcohol is one of those things that really takes over your fucking body, your mentality, and you just can't go against it. Unfortunately, if you drunk too much, it makes you feel nauseous. With me, with cannabis, I feel relaxed, mellow, depending on what kind of strain I smoke on. I normally intend to go and get some stuff that doesn't, I think indica, stuff that doesn't make me like go fucked up, because I've had joints in the past like, oh my god, Lord have mercy, Jesus, oh man, this ain't good, man. I'm spacing it out like a mofo. Some people often think as well, like, cannabis makes you go berserk. Bullshit. If somebody ever tells you, when I smoke cannabis, it makes me go bouncy, who the fuck told you that you get bouncy from cannabis? I find that so hard to believe. It's meant to relax you, and you can still be productive and cooperative when under the influence of drugs, in this case cannabis. I know this video will get demonetized. I don't really give a F anyways. It's gonna get demonetized because it's drugs. Okay. But I can perform perfectly normal under cannabis. If I smoke too much, I've realized after that joint video a couple of weeks ago in my place, I have come to the conclusion that I mustn't smoke a joint in one go, because I don't do it often enough, so my body isn't 100% used to it, as we could say. But I don't mind it once in a while. I actually love it once in a while. Sometimes I'm really like, fuck, I'm craving a joint right now because I can't sleep. I'm either feeling very sad, but anyways, I'm getting sidetracked again. Drugs I would never try. and I'm never going to try it, regardless of my fucking position, regardless how I'm feeling in life. These are things I just can't do. Needles, I don't fuck with needles, and that is junkie activity. You know, I know we shouldn't judge people within society, but I feel like when you do like heroin and shit, that shit is fucking disgusting. I'm sorry, man. It is nasty. I don't want none of that poison in my body. Cannabis is completely different from heroin, crack cocaine, or cocaine in general. It gets sold in fucking Amsterdam. We had a guy come up to us. How ironic, an African dude. Now this is bizarre. You might say, oh, that's kind of racist. Well, it's actually notoriously known that Amsterdam has got African, West African, or just Africans in general fuck around and try to sell drugs there. I had a guy come up to me and my cousin and say, you want Charlie? For those who do not know, Charlie is a word in slang. You want cocaine? You want to... I ain't fucking doing none of that, man. You could be the feds, man. I ain't trying to do none of that stuff. So you know, you've got to also be careful there. But I would never do it personally because I don't fuck with it. Only thing I've ever done and will ever do, if I will continue it for the rest of my life, nobody knows. But I don't do it often enough to be addicted to it. That's one thing of me I know I can control myself. Fortunately, a lot of people that consume like cannabis on a day-to-day basis, how the fuck do you live your life properly? I unfortunately can't imagine being stoned every single fucking day, 24/7 a day. That's not a way of living, I find. And it's a complete different thing if you consume cigarettes, because you don't get high from cigarettes. It's just more like makes you feel good. Same with cannabis. But smoking it every day, yeah, I'm judgmental at this moment. I can't do that, man. And the money it costs, first of all. Weed is a pretty expensive habit for those who do not know. I pay an average, well, I get about let's say I get 3 grams every time I go to a city, preferably The Hague, obviously, because for me personally, they got one of the better quality cannabises, and also kind of like, there's a specific shop I go to, and I feel more comfortable there because I don't really know the people, but I'm sort of familiar with the cannabis, you know, I've done it 3 times, and yeah, I just get like 3 grams, and it's like, fuck, $20-25 every time. You know, imagine if you've got a regular job, you've got a mortgage shit and that is a lot of money every time. So you don't want to make it I want to say keep it as a hobby, not as a form of needing it, you know. But I'm definitely all for cannabis, the legalization, the recreation of it, you know. It's a bit of a shame that like a lot of people judge others because, you know, they smoke cannabis or, you know, they've tried cannabis. I feel like most people that judge have probably never tried it themselves. And I kind of feel like when it comes to cannabis, you really can only judge it if you've tried it yourself, I find. I think it's kind of a different thing with cigarettes because we know what cigarettes smells like, and cigarettes are fucking disgusting. I've tried a cigarette in my life. Nah, I'm not a big fan of it, man. I really don't. I do mix tobacco with cannabis because I don't like pure. Pure way too fucking strong. God damn, that gives you a very nauseous headache. If you've been there, done that, you know what I'm talking about. It ain't pleasant, so a little bit of tobacco, and then, you know, obviously cannabis. But I smoke the mellow stuff, not the stuff that's like exaggerated, like lemon haze or stuff like that, blueberry cookies. That stuff is, first of all, more expensive, but also I can't relax on that type of stuff. But no, I would never do hard drugs. Soft drugs that is once in a couple of months. I probably do cannabis once or twice a year, and I'm being very honest here. I hardly buy it because it's fucking expensive. I can't afford it, but I don't want to make it a thing that I can't live without. I have to enjoy it once in a while, not every time. And I hardly smoke it anyways in my place because of the fact that I'm recording most of the time, and I can't be like that behind the camera, obviously, for reasons. Because I also have a image, you know, to people. You know, I know I got kids watching my content. Some of y'all might argue, well, what the fuck is the point of smoking it? Because it's for my mature audience. Like, majority, this is crazy. Most people, and this is 95%, 97, 98% of the people that watch my content are all 18 plus. Of course, I got 2, 3, 4% that is underage. That's why I've always said, you know, on the other hand, it's kind of nice that YouTube age restricts those videos because you don't have anyone bitching and moaning saying, oh, I'm 12 years old. That's the type of stuff YouTube is also trying to back off, which is completely fully understandable. I wouldn't personally want my kid having to watch somebody smoking a joint. I mean, not at the age of 10, 11. I feel like if they're 16, 17, 18, it's a complete different type of thing, if that makes any kind of sense. But that's the video of today. Some of you might say this is a boring video. That's completely cool. I don't mind, obviously. Let me know down in the comments below, and I'm very curious. Have you ever tried any drugs? Soft drugs, hard drugs? Let me know. I'm very curious. Doesn't matter what type of position in my life, fucking, rich, poor. I'm never touching heroin, none of that stuff. But it's very easy to say. But a lot of people that have said that, I've seen in documentaries that said they would never do that. They're the ones on it as well, which is sad. I mean, if you've seen these documentaries of people living beneath the strip of Las Vegas, that is very sad, man. It is really sad. These people lost everything due to gambling. Obviously, gambling is your own risk. It's a 50-50 thing. It's very sad, and it's easy to judge those type of people. But if you actually watch these documentaries and watch them one-on-one interviews, they even often mention they've applied for a job, but they got fucked over because they don't know how to take care of themselves because they don't have a home. I even saw this one guy. This is kind of out of the video, but I don't think he was a user, but he was a really fucking chill guy. I don't know what his name was, but he went to apply for a job. I think his name was Joe. Shine the Light, I think that's the channel you gotta check that out. And he said he he applied for a job and he got pulled over by the cops on his bicycle because apparently didn't have a light on his back or front, when he did, and that's what caused him to not get the job that day, which is very messed up, obviously. But I also kind of feel like, as a person who applies for the job, they should also make sure that you can also get on time there. Like, fuck me, dude, you can't not give somebody a job if something happens at a time. Like, if you get stopped over by a cop, what the fuck is that your fault? How can it be your fault? Unless you are provocative and you do it on purpose. But I don't feel the guy did it on purpose. But yeah, end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, man. Peace out.